me.
And thanks again to Jennifer Klein for speaking with me this morning. Congresswoman Ashley Hinson, a Republican from Iowa, joins us now, and I'm interested to get her perspective on how she thinks the GOP has done with recruiting women candidates and appealing to women voters. Congresswoman Hinson, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on. It's a great month to celebrate the power of women and powerful women in Congress.
Wonderful. Happy Women's History Month to you. To get started with, your background is so interesting, and I'm intrigued with it as a journalist because you were a journalist at KCRG in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, before you became a lawmaker. I would love to hear about that process from broadcast journalist to Republican lawmaker.
Well, I think it comes down to that natural curiosity, wanting to ask questions and wanting to know why things are happening in your community and then what you can do to fix it. And so I had spent my career telling Iowans stories, the good stuff and the bad stuff, right? I'd seen it all. And I just kind of got to a point where I was tired of talking about it and wanted to start doing something about it. And that's when I decided to step up and run for the State House in 2016. It was a huge commitment. And, I think a lot of the thing that I've been focused on as a now member of Congress in my second term is saying to women, you are worth it. You have the skill set. You can step up and run for these jobs and you can add value. And so I am proud that I'm one of the Republican women serving in Congress. We have more than 30 now, a record number of Republican women. And I see it as my job to continue to tell Iowan stories and continue to tell the story of how you can step up as a woman, add your voice to the conversation and run. It's not easy to do. There's no manual written for how to do this. But what I think is important is mentorship, having those conversations and realizing that you do add value and you bring something to the table.
Yeah, and our conversation with RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel will be coming up soon, and we chatted about how to get how the party and the Republican apparatus as a whole is trying to support women within the party. And you mentioned the record number of Republican women serving in Congress. We saw 2020 was in a way the year of the Republican woman, but we've seen that Republicans have lagged behind Democrats women in terms of their representation in Congress and, down the ballot. So, what do you think the Republican Party could improve on, or the Republican apparatus could improve on? There are organizations like EPAC, Winning for Women, which have really started to improve on their margins in recent elections, but where's there room for growth?
Yeah, absolutely. And those organizations, ViewPAC, Winning for Women, and Elise Stefanik has done an amazing job, not only leading our conference as conference chair, but also in helping to do the same thing, right? Send that message to women that you can be successful here. You can step up and run. And I think too many times candidates, especially Republican women, focus on all the reasons they shouldn't run. I remember I was talking with a potential state house candidate, and when I called, she thought I was calling to talk to her husband to ask him to run. So I think that that's one of the things that I would have as a key takeaway is I'm passionate about showing women all the reasons they should be stepping up to run. So that's why I'm very proud of the apparatus that we are building. You have a lot of strong women, myself, Stephanie Bice, who I came in with, Beth Van Dyne, and that's just three from my class who I am thinking of as we're talking that I'm close with, and I know they are doing everything they can to help recruit good candidates across the country. Kat Kamak is our recruitment chair for the NRCC. Obviously, I don't want to talk too many politics here in this space, but what I think is really important about this is that we are spreading that message. We're doing the job. We're doing it well. We're showing the American people how you can govern effectively and that women bring something to the table. And my favorite quote is a Margaret Thatcher quote because it's if you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. And I think that's very, very important in this bigger picture about how we recruit more people to step up and run, especially Republican women.
And on both sides of the aisle, we are seeing that leadership start to trickle up. I know you serve on the House Appropriations Committee, and there are the four corners of the Appropriations Committee. Obviously, in the House, you have Republican Kate Granger and Democrat Rosa DeLauro. In the Senate, you have Senator Susan Collins and Senator Patty Murray. So what's it like to serve in a realm or a section of the Capitol that's literally run by women?
Very strong women at that too, right? And Chairwoman Granger is just a trailblazer. She has done a phenomenal job as our chairwoman already. We're going to have some serious policy disagreements along the way, but I think this is a monumental time where, for the first time, the four corners in both chambers, this is being led by women. Women, I think, do a great job at negotiating and compromising, and I think that's what it's going to take to get things done this year. So I am proud to have these women at the helm. I have good relationships with both Kay and Rosa. I think it sends a powerful message to women everywhere. Hey, look at what leadership looks like. I mean, this is one of the most powerful committees in Congress, and it's all ladies at the top. So we've come a long way from just a decade or two ago when women had a seat at the table. It's our meeting now. So that, I think, is a very, very good place to be.
And you're also a working mom, and we know that a lot of women in Congress, Republican and Democrat, are sort of united by being a working mother, having to juggle having your kids, and then, of course, going to Congress, working on Capitol Hill. I don't see as many congressmen asked about being working fathers, but it's something that I think a lot of congresswomen, whether Republican or Democrat, talk about their experience of being a mom. How has your experience of being a mom impacted your job or helped your job on Capitol Hill?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I have them on display, my babies. The two primary reasons that I'm in this line of work, their names are Max and Jax. Max is 12, Jax is 10 years old, and I think I'm setting a really good example for my boys. I still remember knocking on doors when I was first running for State House, and I had an older woman actually say, "Gosh, I'm really sad that you're leaving your kids at home." And I said, "Well, ma'am, I beg to disagree. I think I'm setting a great example for my kids of what it looks like to be a great leader and a great American." So in that vein, when I hear people like Don Lemon saying that women are not in their prime, I think I am in my prime. I'm in my prime because I'm a working mom and a member of Congress. It's not easy, but am I proud of it and the example it sets for my kids? Heck yes. There are no two better jobs in the world, and I think it does inform the way I think about things here. And I think we need more working moms in Congress because it is a different perspective. It's experience with some of the most important issues facing our country today, the true budgetary issues that a family faces, childcare. When I found out I was pregnant with Jax, my second baby, one of the first calls I made was to my daycare to make sure I could get on the spot, get on that list. So I am using that informed, I guess you call it, perspective to help work to expand childcare access. So I think that it does bring a different perspective. It adds to the conversation. And I think it's done amazing things for Congress to have so many working families here.
Congresswoman, I know you have to go in a few minutes, but my last question revolves around your state. Your state is an early presidential contest state, Iowa. We've already seen announced candidates and potential announced candidates making their swings through Iowa. It's only going to get busier. Nikki Haley is looking to make history this election year. I know she spent a lot of time in Iowa. Would love to hear about her, what you think of her candidacy, if you're excited about that, and if you plan on endorsing anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, and I have been welcoming all candidates to Iowa because we are first in the nation, and Iowa just has such a great opportunity and I think a great duty to vet all of our presidential candidates. I'm sad the Democrats pulled out of the caucus process in Iowa, but I am so glad we will have so many great people coming through, sharing their vision for the country. I was just texting with Nikki Haley this morning about a few things. So I think it's really great to have strong women stepping up to show everyone in this country you can do that. You can run for president in this country. So I look forward to having great conversations about issues affecting Iowans, issues affecting Americans, national security, domestic security, all of those things over the next couple months as Iowans work to vet our next presidential nominee, and I believe our next president.
Well, Congresswoman Ashley Hinson, thank you so much for joining us. I know I'm hoping to get on the trail up in Iowa, so maybe I'll catch you at the Iowa State Fair. That's on my bucket list.
Oh, yeah. Come and eat some fried food. I think it's pretty much on everybody's checklist who's running for president. So you'll see a lot of people there.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Congresswoman, thank you so much for carving out some of your time to be with us today, and happy Women's History Month.
Yep, you bet. Thank you.
Thank you.